So James Gunn's take on Superman has finally hit the theaters near me, and I was able to go see it. Man, was I impressed with what James Gunn did with this character. He is the perfect person to put in charge for the brand new DCEU. This movie bangs. It bangs hard, actually. I think there is some flaws when it comes to this movie, but they're very little. They're little nitpicks I have. We'll get to those in a second. Of course, there will be no spoilers in this. I hope you go see the movie for yourself and figure out what happens. Those little nitpicks I have are very few, and I want to get to those first. I feel some characters are kind of underutilized. I think Hawk Girl could have had more to do in this film. It feels like she's just kind of there in a sense. Like she's here, she helps fight this big monster, and that's kind of it. That's kind of all she does in this movie. And I also feel the reveal of who Ultraman is kind of lackluster, but you kind of know what they're setting up with it when it is explained who he is and how he acts, which is cool because they'll set that up for future stuff. That's it for critiques. Honestly, there's not much else to say. I want to talk about what I liked about this film, and it is basically everything else. I love Crypto in this movie. Guy Gardner is amazing. And something I don't see a lot of people talking about. It's so nice to see Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane, and Clark Kent acting as a trio together, and Jimmy Olsen actually being more comic accurate and not just getting shot in the face. And personally, this feels like one of the best representations of Clark Kent I've ever seen. You actually feel like this guy couldn't be Superman, but he is. And there's this scene that I think is phenomenal where Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane are talking about Superman, and Clark Kent intentionally deepens his voice like Superman is defending himself there.
Oh, he didn't completely kick Superman's ass.
I think all of the other plot points work really well for me. I like that there's a conflict that Superman interrupts, and it's a huge talking point in this movie about are these basically gods allowed to interfere with human wars? And they explain that in the movie pretty well. Lex Luthor is fantastic in this film. He's played perfectly. Superman, the main guy, is awesome. I think all the scenes with him are awesome. Like all these settings, it's such a good, refreshing take on Superman. Not this dark, gritty guy. He's got emotions, he feels things. How to be a better person, protecting this world, basically. He's allowed to get hurt. He's allowed to learn from his mistakes. And that's what he does in this movie. He learns from his fights with Ultraman, and he learns the use of crypto in this movie is awesome. There's just so many things that are awesome about this movie. James Gunn really has like a Midas touch when it comes to superhero films and really developing characters. He knows what he's doing, and he knows how these characters are supposed to act and how they're supposed to talk and how they feel. I think the introduction of the Justice Gang is pretty well done. I think, as I said before, Guy Gardner is awesome in this movie. Hot Girl is a little lackluster, but she's there. Mr. Terrific is the one of the better parts of this movie. I think everything he does is awesome. He's this tech savvy, smart guy. He fixes problems, and he has this awesome fight scene near the end of the movie where he uses all this tech and shows you he really is that smart and he has brains and brawn to his character. His costume is sick, by the way. Let me tell you, that T across the face looks really cool. I might be the only one who thinks that, but I digress. As for the ending, I think it's also kind of a little lackluster. It just kind of fixes itself. And as for these big fight scenes, they all decently work out. I think the only one I have a problem with is one, that big fight at the end with Ultraman. And it feels a little rushed to me. Honestly, we only really see Ultraman for the first part and the second part of the film, him being the Hammer of Bolivia, which is the only time the Hammer of Bolivia is ever seen again in this movie because it is a costume Ultraman wears. Besides that talking point, I want to talk about what's next for the DC EU by James Gunn, and I am excited for the future. I think this is a great first step in a new DCEU that is more like the comics. It is allowed to have happiness, it's allowed to be sad at times, but these characters they learn. So for Superman by James Gunn, I'm gonna give it a healthy 8.5 out of 10. So solid start for James Gunn. That's it for this quick review. If you like this, make sure to like and subscribe or whatever. I think I'll do more longer form videos here in the future. I just wanted to get this one off my chest, get something posted here. So see you next time.